Okay, my question this week was from Will. He sent in and said he's got a question about the greenness of mobile providers. That is why I like these episodes, because we go on completely different directions. We've gone from pavement to plants to phone providers. Yeah. He's asked, how can we make better decisions there? He recently came across a brand called EcoTalk, which are a mobile network that claim to use their profits for nature. Can we look into this?
Happily.
Yes, well, we can. So I did a little bit of digging. I read a report looking at sort of what the mobile industry is doing or can be doing to mitigate their own climate impacts. So there's lots of different things that are available for them to make changes in. So you've got things like, basically, as we're all using our mobiles more and more often, more people are getting connected, the demand for connectivity is continuing to grow, the demand for data is growing. All of that requires quite a comprehensive infrastructure network. And the heavier the traffic, by that I mean like the data traffic rather than traffic on the roads, the more energy is required to sustain and be pumped through this infrastructure, which also means in some ways that it's financially an incentive for mobile providers to become more energy efficient, as well as it being environmentally important. So that's something to get interested about. And I read that as we're moving through all of the Gs, we've got 5G being rolled out.
Are we in a fast jet here? Pulling 7G now. Half faces.
5G getting rolled out more and more densely. Mobile networks are going to need more demand of energy in order to sustain that increase in the usage and the data demand that comes with that. So one way to mitigate is to start retiring and switching off old legacy networks that were less efficient. So things like 2G and 3G, now that nobody's using them anymore, I swear 3G doesn't even work anymore. Get rid.
I feel like 5G is rubbish as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just ranting. Whenever I'm in London, I cannot connect to 5G.
I think I'm normally on 4 anyway. Yeah, I don't know.
I needed to find what tube I needed to get home because I can't navigate the tube.
And so Country Bumpkin was lost.
So I was like on City Mapper, like, hello, I need to know where I'm going. And
I can't think for myself. Take me home.
I had to go be one of the people who just
stressful.
like loiters outside a bar and tries to connect to free Wi-Fi.
Well, there's always one person, often me also, looking at like the physical tube map on the wall and like the concentration phase when you're like, especially with the circle line,
I have to get my finger
where the hell am I going? Yeah.
I know Paddington, I know Buckingham Palace, I know the London Eye.
Anyway, those are tube networks. Let's get back to mobile networks. The switch to fibre as well from copper as well, when we're talking about fixed networks, is also supposed to be a bit better for the planet. And in terms of like how the businesses themselves, the mobile networks providers, can reduce their sort of energy, they can also start looking to our pals AI to help optimize things like sleep mode elements that can reduce energy use. But then I got into a different rabbit hole to address Will's question of, well, should I use EcoTalk? And was trying to work out, well, are there actually differences in all of these different providers? And how do we untangle which one of those are good? So it's important to understand a bit about how the UK's mobile network operates.
It always is. It always is. I've always said that.
Well, quite. So the thing to know, which you, Osian, will obviously already know, is that the UK's mobile network is, the underlying infrastructure that we talked about, the physical infrastructure, is actually only operated by 4, soon to be 3 companies. So you've got EE, O2, and then 3 and Vodafone, which are about to merge.
Are they?
They may have already merged,
Exciting.
Who knows? Voda 3, I don't know what it's going to be called.
Free phone? No. Throdaphone?
Throdaphone is good. And all the other operators, so you can, you'll have heard things like Smarty, Voxy, GIF, Gaff, all of these other ones. They basically piggyback on that infrastructure. So as consumers, we've got very little choice of what infrastructure provider we go for, but we have a lot more choice on the network provider. And some of those network providers claim to use their profits for good. And that's where we're looking at all of the sort of potentially greenwashy claims of, I'm a good, environmentally friendly mobile network. So Will mentioned EcoTalk. EcoTalk piggyback off of EE. And I'm going to talk about 2 other mobile providers as well. We've got Meaningful Planet and Honest Mobile. Both of those use Vodafone 3 or Voda 3 or Threedaphone, whatever that one is.
Threedophone. It's much better than the Throdophone.
Throdophone. That was it.
I like
Yeah.
Throdophone.
So these three companies make the most noise about their sort of environmental credentials. So that was Honest Mobile was one of them. It calls itself carbon negative.
Ooh, bold.
Okay.
Bold claim. And that therein lies the problem. When we talk about being carbon negative, a lot of people talk about offsetting, and that's the mechanism that they're using. They're saying, well, we do tons of carbon offsetting. That's why we're carbon negative. And we all know that carbon offsetting is not really the great fix that it seems to be. And a lot of the claims about the benefits of carbon offsetting don't really live up to the benefits they actually provide. So while they do some stuff, a report found them to be a little bit climate misleading, to be honest, in the way they big up what they do. Meaningful Planet is another one. 10% of their revenue they put towards restoring nature, helping the planet and enhancing biodiversity.
How?
Seagrass projects and pine marten projects
Ooh,
were
very,
two of the things they claim to do, which is quite
very
interesting.
up and coming.
Big fan of seagrass, to be honest. Lots of carbon capture in there. I don't know a huge amount about pine martens, but they do seem to be quite a buzz species of the moment.
Yeah, pine
Yeah.
martens have just been reintroduced to Dartmoor, Devon Wildlife Trust. That was exciting.
What do they do? Well, add to the biodiversity of an area. But it was found that they didn't share very much when it comes to their reporting. So it was a bit harder to interrogate sort of what they
Clarity
do.
is key. I think when you're making massive claims about being carbon negative, you need to be super duper clear, like a
Yes.
seagrass meadow.
Quite.
And if I remember correctly, I saw an advert on social media the other day for Eco Talk. And, it had Chris Packham in the corner. So you've got your kind of spokesperson.
Okay.
We'll get to
But the
that.
the video behind him was all AI generated.
Was
And
it?
If you'd gone back and listened to the AI episode, you'll know how water intensive cooling those servers are.
You're
And
too
I was
good,
kind of
Osian.
shocked. I couldn't believe that. A mobile network purporting to be eco-friendly was using such intensive AI for just a social media advert.
Yeah, I didn't spot that.
Someone told me last week that apparently just by saying thank you to ChatGPT is the same energy as boiling a kettle.
With or without eggs. Don't like that. Yeah. Well, so EcoTalk, that's the third one. It does claim to be the world's greenest mobile network. Again, very big claims.
It's like the pasty shops in Cornwall being like the world's best world champion pasties. We are the best. And then next door, they're also
who
like,
says-
we're also the best.
We're actually
Yeah.
also the best.
It's like, what, do you go to the same championships? Do you all win?
Who's voting on this?
Some are significantly better
I want to
than
see
others,
your
obviously.
reporting.
Yeah.
More clarity, please, in your pasties.
Hold on, now I'm beginning to doubt my world's best boyfriend mug. Are we trying to? Was I not in the running
We
for that?
couldn't possibly comment. You did go to multiple charity shops, though, in support
Yeah,
of
you
matching
did. You did
coordinated
dedicate a whole
Sisters
day
Not
to
Twins
helping an
outfit.
outfit. Yeah.
But
pretty
yeah,
out
so EcoTalk, you're right, they do use Chris Packham heavily in their marketing. He's on Team EcoTalk. I think he's chief ecologist. So he's supporting them in doing things like reintroducing beavers. They're helping beavers
Ding,
get into the
ding.
wild across different
Hello.
sites.
Yeah.
I think they've done 2, Essex, Sussex and Devon.
So,
And they're, doing pollinator promotion projects and rewilding work. It all looks quite good. I'm sure that the marketing teams in all of these organisations will make as much of a meal as possible about the fact they're green.
and they're never going to be
They're never
perfect,
going to be
are they?
perfect. But basically, I think in summation, changing your mobile provider, you're not going to save the planet by doing that. However, if you want to make sure that your money is going to slightly more ethical places, there are options, and those are 3 potential options. You can be a bit happier about, where your money goes.
It's a bit like banking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Choosing a bank that doesn't invest in fossil fuels.
Well, that actually, I think I would argue that has a way more impact.
Yeah, probably.
If you've got your bank investing in fossil fuels
Yeah, that's
versus
direct
£10
money.
a month going to
Yeah,
Foxy.
true.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. It's a deep dive on
Love
mobile
that deep dive.
providers.
Are we coming back up to the surface now?
Fascinating stuff. Yes.
Big breath at the top.
Lovely. Osian, thank you so much for joining us for an episode.
That was so
Thank you guys.
fun.
It was such a pleasure.
Oh, thanks for bringing a voice note as well. We always love those.
Very
Send us your voice
impressed.
notes.